I am changing the world with the title of this video. Liverpool need a centre half. Shock. We had two centre midfielders playing centre half against Man United and we kept a clean sheet. Fair play. Clean sheet against a decent United team. You know, two centre mids. Jordan Henderson, Fabinho. Fabinho's played the all season. He's been absolute one of the best players this season for us. Absolute GOAT, right? Absolute legend. He's amazing as defensive mid and is now amazing at centre half. Jordan Henderson never played centre back before. What, 2 months ago? Well, he did actually play centre half, didn't he? Against in that World Cup, that Club World Cup last year. But that was his first time, and now it's his second or third time playing centre half, and he did okay. But we need a proper centre half. The positive thing is, if you have Jordan and Fabinho at centre half, is you got actual like ball playing centre halves. So you know from the back. So if you're actually playing, for example, if you got playing Nat Phillips at centre half or Reece Williams, for example, they're not that good on the ball. So you're sort of limiting yourself. Virgil and Joe Gomez are both pretty good, and Matip is all three of them are very good on the ball. So if you put in Nat Phillips there, who's a proper defender, proper championship, bang, slide tackle, head, kick into Rosette. You're losing stuff when you've got him in the side. So when you have Jordan, who's obviously a worse defender than that Phillips, obviously because it's not his position, or Reece Williams, for example, you've got actual ball players. So you can play play out from your box. You can play and transition maybe quicker, or you can keep the ball and maintain it. There's some positives, but we need a proper centre half who can do both, because we are missing those two in midfield badly. And you know, and this is why I think our form has dipped, because we're changing players, our fundamental structure of our team. We're changing players and moving them out, and it's sort of having a domino effect, right? You're changing this, so you're not keeping him. You're changing this, which means you have to change that, and if you change this, you have to change that thing. So when you've got Salah, Firmino, and Mane, right, three. They know the role, but when you're changing the midfield behind them, so we've had in the midfield, so we've got Thiago, Wijnaldum, Hendo, Kurt Jones, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Takumi Minamino, Xherdan Shaqiri, all 7, 6, and I think I've missed one, probably Milner. I don't know if I mentioned Milner. I don't know. I've probably missed one or two. If you're having them always, Naby Keita, if you're having to always rotate them, or this guy's injured, now we have to move Henderson from there, and then you've got to always fundamentally change the system, or because all those midfielders are different, right? Obviously, every player is different, so you're changing. That's what I think we've sort of lacked in goals in the past 4 or 5 games, where we scored 7 past Palace, which was absolutely brilliant game to watch. We had Matip and Fabinho, right? Two proper centre. Well, Fabinho is absolutely. Fabinho, I was so grateful to have him. We had Matip and Fabinho, and we had we had two centre backs, two known centre halves, and then we had Jordan Henderson in midfield. We had one out in midfield, and I don't know who we had. Do we have Ox there? I don't know. We had Minamino playing. We had Man rested, but we had players who've played in that position before, played with someone there next year, like Fabinho, Matip. I know how you play. Or Henderson one on me. You. I've played with you for 4 years. It makes such a big difference, and that's what I reckon. That's been our downfall this season. Is at centre half we've got now Jordan and Fabinho, our two centre backs against Man United. I'll reel off some names here: Van Dijk, Gomez, Matip. Who've played. I'm listing who's played centre half for us this season. So we've got those three, all right? And then obviously Fabinho. Then now Henderson, Nat Phillips, Reece Williams, Billy. I think Billy Komechi played, and there's probably one more. 8 different players who've played centre back for Liverpool this season, and we're halfway through the season. It's just mind-boggling, and it's always like it's a domino effect. So if you're always constantly changing, the midfield's always looking. You have to look behind him, like, do we trust that guy behind him because he's never played for us before? And you're sort of second guessing yourself. And these two, Robbo and Trent, it's also had an effect on them. Let's talk about Trent, because Robbo's been absolutely unreal. Probably our best player this year. Robbo and Fabinho, our best 2 players, I reckon, this year. Unreal, honestly. But let's talk about those fullbacks. It has an effect. Let's talk about Trent. It has an effect on them. Trent, let's talk about his individual, right? He's had COVID this year, and he didn't have preseason. He was injured for about a month before the season started, so it happened his effect to get match fit, right? And he's been out of form. He's always had to have someone there inexperienced, because Fabinho usually plays on that side, but we changed the fact, and guess what? We had a proper centre half next to Trent, a proper, who knew his position, and Trent had one of his better games, right? He had a good game, Trent. But he's had to play with Nat Phillips, Reece Williams, and it has an effect on him, because he wants to fucking push up here next to the this area, right? He doesn't. Robbo likes the byline. Trent likes a bit more deeper. It has an effect on him because he's not going further. He's not pushing up as much. He's looking behind him, and it has an effect on Salah's game. Has an effect on Jordan's game, because Henderson. What Trent wants, Salah and Henderson right there, and he wants Gomez, right? Those three, and then Trent. That's what Trent plays, because he knows he knows how these two play. If you've got having to play Henderson in the sixth because Fabinho is injured and Thiago's injured, so you have to play Henderson there, or for example, and you got Reece Williams, Phillips. I don't know. You can list off names. You're second guessing yourself. You're being more cautious. You're not on the ball as much, and it's a domino effect. And when you've got a unsettled midfield and defense every single game, it has an effect on these lot. Even though they're all superstars, it has an effect on them. This guy is proper pure football sex, isn't he? He's so good. But let's talk about the Liverpool United game. Ended in 0-0. It was the best, it was the most exciting Liverpool United game of all time, wasn't it? Both teams were absolutely garbage in the final third. We were pretty good, I thought, in the first 25, half an hour of the first half, and we looked decent. We kept the ball dominating, we were creating half chances, but it wasn't one clear-cut chance. Like, oh, you fucking idiot, you should have scored there. And then United, they stayed in the game. It was 0-0, and they got chances late, and they could have won it. So both teams probably deserved a draw in the end. But both defenders, we didn't test these two enough, Lindelof and Maguire, and we just didn't test them enough. I thought Luke Shaw was brilliant. I thought he was brilliant. Mo Salah, he often gets what's the phrase I'm trying to look for? He always gets double marked. What do you call it? Always gets two players on him, and it's quite hard on him. He's had that for about a few seasons now, and that's why it's amazing, because he still scores his goals with two players on him. But I thought Lee Shaw, fair play to him. I thought he was United's best player. It was 5-6 minutes to go in the United game, obviously in the second half, and that Klopp brings on Origi, and he's a proper centre forward, Origi, but I think his time is done, and it's just strange because Minamino played. He played the full 90. He played the full 90 against Palace, where our last win came from. Well, in the Premier League, 7-0, scored a goal. I think assisted as well. It was amazing. It was his best performance for the club, and we haven't seen 1 minute from him since, apart from the FA Cup. We haven't seen 1 minute from him in the Premier League, and we still see players like Origi starting get on the pitch in front of him, and I just don't understand what's going on. And back to the centre half situation, you can reel off names and amazing young centre halves. I don't know. We need to get someone. I think he should be alone. Someone like Eder Militao, who's come to Anfield and he's bossed the games. I think he's played for Porto when he's come to Anfield, and he was really good. He's at Real Madrid now. He's not getting games. They're not playing him. Loan him out for 6 months. We need to get someone on a loan, and not Steven Corker, please. Although if we do get like a late winner against Burnley, man, we should get Steven Corker. I think this doesn't get talked enough. Newcastle United are, along with Burnley, I reckon, are the two worst clubs to watch in the Premier League. It's not even fun. They're fucking horrible to watch, Newcastle. Watching this game against Arsenal this morning, the ambition it was just awful to watch. Joel Linton at left mid. The only one that's looked alright was Miguel Almiron. Wilson's not getting served. Almiron fucking works his socks off. And he's energetic and he's working hard. I don't get it with Steve Bruce. I don't. And when he's getting praise from TV pundits like Neville and Jamie Redknapp, for example. And you're thinking, what are you doing? They're fucking awful to watch. They're playing in moments, Steve Bruce, and I guess their squad isn't good enough to compete at a proper play football like Leeds or Brighton, for example. But they're terrible. They are shocking, and they they might go down. I'm not being funny. Like Fulham are playing much better than them right now. Sheffield United play better than them, even though they're not getting results. And who else is in there? I don't know. Fucking hell. But the point is, I don't get it why Steve Bruce is getting fucking praise, and they're saying he's doing the same thing as Rafa Benitez. I'm thinking, are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? Like this, saying stuff like this, it just blows me mind. Right, that's a wrap up for this video. If you've enjoyed it, make sure to like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification, subscribe to my second channel. It's a podcast channel. It's nothing to do with footy. It's just chatting shite, basically. Follow us on social media platforms and on Twitch, and I'll see you guys later.